God, bro. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing today? Doing good? Having a fun morning so far? As I'm fighting with my nose right now because, you know, it's an awkward scene where there's something in there, but yet nothing coming out. So, here we are. 2020, 2021 college football playoff selection. Who's in? If I had to guess who's in here, if I had to guess, it's going to be Bama, duh. Clemson, of course. Ohio State, well, yeah. And I'm going to say Notre Dame squeaks in. Yeah, I think Notre Dame will get in here. That's my ultimate prediction right there. Some people say Texas A&M could get in. It's possible. Although they did get stomped by Bama earlier in the year. And I just don't know if people want to see that again. And they even have Cincinnati involved in the graphic. Could you imagine if we had Cincinnati versus Alabama? Oh, I mean, Cincinnati's a tough team, but dude, playing Alabama, ugh. We're probably going to find out here within a half hour. Knowing them, they're going to drag it out. Got 10 people in here already. I'm sure a lot of you are expecting like an actual live feed, but unfortunately, nobody can really do that because of something called copyright laws. So you're going to get my reaction to the picks, and we'll see who Ohio State's playing. Oh, crazy dog! What if Ohio State doesn't get in? If Ohio State doesn't get in, even after winning the Big Ten title, then we know exactly the motive of the committee. Yeah, the whole 6-game thing. You know, because something called a pandemic. You know, but we should be in. The question is, who's going to be number 4? Who's going to be the 4th team? Notre Dame, A&M, a team that nobody thought of. It ain't going to be Florida. I doubt it'll be Cincinnati. Nobody would want that, except Cincinnati fans. But yeah, it's going to be, my guess, like I said earlier, it's going to be Ohio State in there, Notre Dame, as well as, of course, the Big Two. But you see on that wall there, if you're watching the actual show, they have the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. That's where the games are being played. Although, last night, it was announced that the Rose Bowl will not be played at the Rose Bowl. But instead, it'll be played at Jerry World because California has this thing where they will not allow fans. What's up, Roblox? Would love to see Cincy get a shot. I mean, it's either Notre Dame or A&M, in my opinion. Cincy's like very, very, like, they're close, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get in there. But damn. They have not announced the top 4 yet. You know how they're going to do it. They're going to drag it out, and we're going to get the top 4 probably right before these NFL games start. But yeah, man, Alabama escaped against Florida. That was one hell of a game at the end there. And then, of course, the Bearcats squeaked by Tulsa. AAC championship. Wow. They got reporters in Bama, of course, Clemson, Ohio State, of course, Notre Dame, A&M, and Cincinnati. Like, that's actually crazy that they consider Cincinnati a team that could possibly be in. Mainly because A&M and Notre Dame, well, they got embarrassed by those two teams up top there. Like they got destroyed by those two teams. But Notre Dame can flex that, hey, we beat Clemson earlier in the year. But then you'd be like, cool, you beat Clemson, who was missing a couple other defensive starters, and they didn't have Trevor Lawrence. So, yeah. I think Notre Dame's going to get in, and they're probably going to play Bama, and they're probably going to get stomped. And then we play Clemson, which I'm hoping would be a great game. But if we're still missing a vast majority of those 22 players that we missed yesterday, oh god, it could get ugly. Especially if Justin Fields was playing like he did last night. But Trey Sermon is an absolute monster, and I will admit I was slandering him a little bit, earlier in the year because he really wasn't getting a whole lot. He wasn't doing a whole lot on the field. Like he'll get chunks here and there, but last night he went off. Ohio State shouldn't be in the playoffs. Okay, so it's pretty clear you're one of those people that believes you should play at least 6 or so games. Well, we would have played way more than 6 games, but I don't know if you know this, but there was this thing called a pandemic going on. And we would have played, the Illinois game, but it wouldn't have been guaranteed that we would have played the Sparty game. And the Maryland and Team Up North games were out of our control. We were ready to play those games, but the other team wasn't. So, yeah. I think we're going to be in there. I mean, there's no way they keep out the Big Ten champion, right? I mean, come on, really? I wish you had 22 players out and we still won. Exactly, Roblox. Exactly. Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, and then A&M or Notre Dame. That's the way I see it, too. It'll be one of those two. It's pretty much who's going to get stomped by Bama. Wow, so they have the NFL ticker on the bottom on the ESPN, of course, as always. For the Eagles and Cardinals, they have this fact where the Eagles have not won in Arizona on the road. In Arizona on the road. They have not won on the road against the Cardinals since 2001. 19 years. That's tough. And then a little thing came out earlier today saying that Carson Wentz wants out if he's not going to be the starter. Which, I mean, of course, why would you want to stay there? You're a $100+ million quarterback and you're a backup. No. Why would A&M be in if they're going to get destroyed? Ask the committee. Don't be sleeping on Oklahoma. I've heard a lot of rumors of them sneaking in. I mean, that wouldn't be bad. I mean, they've looked great over the last couple of weeks. But we remembered what happened the last couple of times they were in. They got absolutely throttled. Any team will get destroyed by Bama. Honestly, yeah. And not put OSU in CFP. And then they struggled against Vanderbilt. Alabama and Clemson are in, of course. Of course they're in. It's just who's going to be in after Ohio State. It's the way it's going to be. We already know pretty much the big three. It's just who's going to be that fourth team. That's the only question. And I've seen so far in the chat, some people think Texas A&M, which is logical. But like I said, they got crushed by Bama. Then you have the whole argument for Notre Dame. But they got crushed by a healthy Clemson. Now, they did beat a somewhat wounded Clemson earlier in the year. So, yeah, got you thinking. Did they do enough to sway the committee to keep them in? I think so. When will they announce it? Well, I expect it within the next half hour. Probably. Although I don't know. They may be announcing it really soon here. Who knows? I mean, I know ESPN. They're going to drag this out as long as possible. Well, let's see here. This is a 1 hour actually, no, this is. Well, the selection show itself is a 4 hour endeavor, but my guess is they will have the top four probably within a half hour. Around there. They're probably going to cut it as close to the NFL games as possible. That's what they're going to do. Yep. Of course, this is the latest they've ever really had the selection show because, conferences got started later. We should be right in the middle of bowl season right now. We're just now starting to talk about the playoff. The argument for A&M is that they played Bama early in the year and won 7 straight. Yup. If A&M gets in, Bama will just get destroyed. Are you ready for the Browns game? Damn right. But yeah, I'll be live for that about 7:45, 8 o'clock around there. Ready to see my team get the dub, get the 10-4. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we win the night as well as a Dolphins loss. That pretty much means next week we can clinch, which is something I thought we could happen, but damn, that's crazy. Ohio State is one of the top 4 teams in the teams that beat one of the top defenses in the nation. They beat Indiana, then they beat Sparty with a good defense. So yeah, Ohio State deserves to be in there. Yep. I mean, we literally beat the top scoring defense in the whole Power 5 yesterday. So I think we're in. It's just who's number 4? Obviously, Notre Dame fans think they're in. A&M fans think they're in. All we can do is sit back and wait. Ohio State should make it, and A&M should not, because I remember when Ohio State win 10+2, 10-2, and they didn't make the Big Ten championship. They didn't make it, and that's not fair. Good point. But if I'm not mistaken, we may not have a lot of those 22 players that we missed yesterday for the college football playoff semifinal game because of the 21-day rule that the Big Ten implemented. So Olave would be out, Browning would be out, Jackson Smith-Jigba would be out, a couple other big players would be out. That's tough. Well, the selection show is going on right now, but they're probably not going to announce the actual top 4 for probably another 20 minutes or so. I'm still upset we didn't get to beat up on – I know. You're not the only one. I mean, all the Buckeye players were on Twitter and everything after the game was canceled saying, man, I can't get my gold pants. They really wanted to take care of business. I mean, Ryan Day was talking trash in the year saying that they were going to hang 100 on him. Now, next year, Ryan Day is probably going to be so petty where he's going to try to hang 2. I mean, I wouldn't have been shocked if we would have done that either. But with the way our defense was playing, in the regular season, we would have hung 100 and gave up 98. I mean, this is the way it was. But Cincinnati, top 25 wins, one of two teams in the top 20 in scoring, total offense, and total defense. Next was Clemson. Wow. OSU defense is bad, very bad. And it didn't help that yesterday they were missing quite a few of their good players. Our depth has been tested to the max this year. That's for sure. And it didn't really help that Cam Brown went down. And that really tested our secondary depth. I'm watching this dude in the background. I don't know what he's doing at Nippert. He must be cleaning the stands or something. I don't know what he's doing. There's a lot of looks like junk over in one of those stands over there. But yeah, I've been to Nippert Stadium. Nice little area. I went there for a high school football game. I actually got to see Amon-Ra St. Brown, who plays for USC. I think I also saw a couple other people too. Wyatt Davis? I thought I saw Wyatt Davis there too, playing. Amir Reep, I saw him play. He's no longer, I think, on the Buckeyes team because he got in trouble. You guys better beat them Giants tonight. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to beat the Giants. Giants fans think that they can beat us, and it's so funny. I watched like a couple of Giants video makers. I watched their videos or whatever, Cop Hizzle and them. Like, they think that, after last week, we're going to be a little, woozy or whatever. It's like, we're not playing you like 2 days after the game. If anything, we're going to be pissed off. We realized we had that game last night, but we let it slip through our fingers. So if I'm the Browns, I'm going out there, and I'm not letting this one slip. In fact, I'm going out there, I'm stomping on the Giants' neck, and I'm just putting them out of their misery. Straight up. Giants is an easy win for anybody. They weren't easy for the Seahawks, now were they? OSU has Evan Pryor and Travion Henderson with the receiver commits. And then they have Quinn Ewers. Yep. Ohio State is going to be a national title contender for God knows how long. Like, I'm not even kidding. What do you think about the 2021 Ohio State class? Elite. Especially because we're still waiting on one more guy, really, and that's JT Tuimoloau, who is a top pass rusher in the nation. We get him. We put him on the other side of Jack Sawyer, and we go from having no pass rush this year, really. Now, I'm not going to hate on Zach Harrison and Cooper and them. They did their best, but they weren't comparing them to Chase Young and the Bosa's. I don't think so. You go next year with Tuimoloau. I think Harrison will be back. I'm not sure. I have to see who's underclassmen on that. You have Zach, you have Sawyer, possibly Tuimoloau. A couple of linebackers are coming back. Browning, I don't think will be back. And of course, Hilliard. He's like, how many years has Hilliard even been with the team? God, it seems like he's been there forever. 2022 class is going to be as good, if not better, because we got like Quinn Ewers, like you mentioned. In fact, I'm going to go through these classes for the squad here. Should be getting the top 4 here momentarily, I'm sure. But let's go through the recruiting classes of these top 4 teams, and that's who really has, the brightest future. I mean, all 3 of these teams, Bama, Clemson, and Ohio State, they all have a really, really bright future. I remember when people thought Ohio State was going to fall off when Urban retired. But, God, were they shocked when freaking Ryan Day goes out there and kicks the crap out of everybody that we played last year. Like, isn't that nuts? So team rankings, all right. Wait, what happened? Ooh, so I just got a tweet talking about multiple league sources told guidelines for athletes who would test positive for coronavirus to align with CDC regulations, I guess. Okay. So they're probably going to drop it to like 17 or so days, which is perfect for us, you know. But here are the rankings, and I'm going to go through their classes real quick. So Bama has the number one class, barely. Oh, that's not even barely. Like it's really elite. Ohio State number 2, LSU 3, Georgia 4. Look at Uncle Lou's Bulldogs. They're right there at 4. How about that? Clemson at 5, Oregon 6, A&M 7, Notre Dame 8, Oklahoma 9, Florida 10. And just outside the top 10, you have the U and the team up north. Then USC, North Carolina, and Tennessee round out the top 15. Man, I remember when Tennessee was getting all these recruits and stuff, and they were running their mouths straight up. Like, they're like, yeah, man, look at our recruiting class. We're going to be great. Okay. How are you looking this year so far? If I'm a recruit going to Tennessee, I'm like, this is what I signed up for? I mean, some of them are going to be like, all right, let's get to work. Others are going to be like, I don't know about that. It'll be interesting to see how many like transfers we see because of the dead period. You know, recruits could not go on official visits, but Ohio State has 5 5-stars, 13 4s, and 3 3-stars. All right. Recruiting is on a whole nother level. They played 6 games. We don't need Urban. How much confidence do you have Ohio State will make it? I'm very confident. Our recruiting, okay, it doesn't matter. Top 4 in both polls. Have they started yet? Like I said, they're drawing it out as long as possible. I expect they'll have it up by 12:30, but who knows? My top 4 is Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, and then I'm going to say Notre Dame squeaks in. So Ohio State's recruiting class, number 2 in the nation, number 1 in the Big Ten. You have Jack Sawyer, these guys are already signed. Of course, we landed Emeka Egbuka, 5-star receiver, a couple days ago. God, you had him? Oh, man, dude. I think Garrett Wilson's back next year. So, God, you can have Garrett Wilson, Emeka Egbuka, Marvin Harrison Jr. coming in with Fleming and Njigba and freaking Mookie Cooper and all them. Bruh. The only thing is we're not going to have Justin Fields. But I'll tell you one thing. Whoever our starting quarterback is, whether it's Miller or freaking C.J. Stroud, whoever it is, they're going to have an embarrassment of riches. For real. Donovan Jackson, he's a guard. We have Travion Henderson, of course, 5-star running back. Kyle McCord, quarterback. Jalen Johnson, Mike Hall, Jaden Ballard, receiver. Jordan Hancock, a corner who we flipped from Clemson. That's crazy. Evan Pryor, another running back. We're literally going to have a 1-2 punch coming in next year at running back. Marvin Harrison Jr., like I said. Reed Carrico. Okay. Like I said, that's an absolute elite class. We even got a freaking Australian punter. Love to see it. Them Aussies can punt. They can really boot it because they be doing that rugby thing down there. Rugby and Australian rules, football and all that good stuff. Love to see it. Well, we should be getting the top 4 here momentarily, I'm guessing. But like I said, they like to draw things out. They do it for the NFL draft. I mean, God, for the NFL draft, pick is in, and then it takes 3 minutes for them to freaking get the pick in. Now, of course, that's mainly because Roger Goodell has to get the card. He fills it out, and then he walks up to the stage to get booed by everybody. I'm sure that was pretty different for him last year, but okay. Okay. Is this it right here? Must be. Alabama, number 1. No surprise. Okay. Bama's 1. Clemson 2. No surprise again. Here we go, guys. Here's number 3. Who's going to be facing Clemson? It's going to be Ohio State. Let's be real. But there's the Tigers sitting in their field house awaiting their opponent. Imagine Ohio State's number 4. No, they wouldn't do that. Imagine they go Notre Dame and A&M at 3 and 4. Just say, screw Ohio State. You suck. Nah. Okay. Ohio State, number 3. All right. Like we expected, so we're running it back against Clemson. That'll be fun. Hopefully we can get some of those guys back. But who's going to be number 4? Notre Dame, A&M, Cincinnati? No, it's going to be Notre Dame or A&M. I think it'll be Notre Dame. Imagine if it's A&M. Oh, that'd be nuts. Boy. But yeah, we get a rematch with the Taters. We get a rematch against Dabo Swinney. That'll be fun. Oh, God. And then 4 will be, I'm going to guess, Notre Dame. And they're going to draw it out. Okay. Heartline, one of the best. We're getting our rematch against Clemson. Yes, sir. Might stay another year. I mean, I wouldn't, honestly, that would be shocking because then it's like you're going to have a logjam at quarterback next year. If you're Stroud and Miller and them, you're thinking next year I'm going to get my shot. Honestly, if I'm Justin Fields, I'm saying I don't want to risk falling off. I'm going to the league next year and I'm getting my money. I'm getting the bag. I've seen it where quarterbacks go back to college and they suck and they wind up falling to like second, third round. Don't do what Cardale Jones did. Cardale Jones stayed in college another year, and that really hurt him, I think. I mean, yeah, he barely played in that 1 year because, he did win a national title. He looked great doing it. But he wanted to stay in college. I don't know if you want to do that if you're Justin. Got to go to the league. Get your money. I mean, yeah, you struggled these last couple weeks, but yeah, go to the league. You're going to be a top 5 pick, in my opinion. You're probably going to fall to like the 20s or something. I don't know. I think you'll be all right. You just got to ball out in your combine and workouts. So, who's going to play Alabama? They got the top 3. Still waiting on number 4. Are they going to do it? Oh, Notre Dame. Like I said, they weren't going to boot out Notre Dame. So we're going to get Notre Dame and Alabama and Clemson, Ohio State. Wow. Tough. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a good matchup right there. Maybe Notre Dame doesn't get embarrassed. No, I think they're probably going to get smashed, in my opinion. The way they played yesterday, really? They're going to get crushed. They're not going to be able to stop Najee Harris. Now, what's funny is, remember last year we played Clemson. J.K. Dobbins was having a game, and then he got hurt. Well, we got Teague and Sermon. So we'll see how that goes. Rip Notre Dame. Yeah, exactly. And then the 5-6 will probably be Cincinnati and A&M. So, yeah, Alabama, Notre Dame will be at the Rose Bowl. Well, the Rose Bowl, it'll be in Dallas because Cali ain't allowing fans, and Brian Kelly was bitching and complaining about, oh, man, if they can't have fans, I'm not playing. So, because, you know, family members and stuff. So, they're going to be heading to Texas. A&M at 5. No surprise. Yeah. And then since he's probably going to be 6. That's tough. Oh, boy. See what Twitter's saying. That's tough. You really hate to see it. But I mean, did anyone really expect A&M to get into the playoff? No, not at all. Not at all. At least I didn't. Lose by 28 points, the number 1 team in the nation. I'd love to know this when you talk to Mr. Barta. Does the committee say, do we want to see Alabama, Texas A&M again in a semifinal? Well, all right. No cap, the refs sold us hard. Yes, they did. What's up, Brett? So, yeah, they're still talking about, you know, I'm still waiting to see who number 6 is, just for the coach. Oh, Oklahoma. Well, okay then. Oklahoma jumped to number 6. Okay. Remember when people were talking about them possibly making it? Nah, so much would have had to happen for them to make it in. But I mean, yeah, they are a Big 12 champ. All right, so Bama, Notre Dame, and then Clemson, Ohio State. Can't wait for Clemson fans to freaking troll us and everything, you know, all week leading up to that game. You're 0-4 against us. Yeah. It's going to be fun. And, of course, I'll be streaming both games. I'll be streaming the national title game, too, regardless if Ohio State's there or not. January 1st at 4, the Rose. And we're playing in New Orleans, baby. So I guess the good news is we're not playing in a stadium with trash turf. Because remember, Arizona, well, they were notorious for having kind of slippery, tacky turf. And guys were slipping and sliding all over the place because of how tacky it was. We're going to the Sugar Bowl. We're going to New Orleans, baby. Yep, we play Clemson. Should be a lot of fun. You're shocked Ohio State's in? Okay. Yeah, all right. Since he got hosed. Well, I mean, Oklahoma won the Big 12. But they had 2 losses. And they were kind of meh losses either. Ugh. I don't know. But, yeah. So I'm going to wrap this up here in a couple minutes. I only went live to see who the top 4 was. Obviously, the playoff selection show is freaking 4 hours long, and I'm not going to be doing that. So, yeah, good. I want that rematch. I want someone to put a lick on Trevor. Well, hopefully we can get to Trevor. And hopefully nobody does any stupid targeting penalties and gets freaking booted out of the game like what happened last year. But it's going to be tough. Both sides are really good. They're going to have a challenge guarding. Hopefully, Olave will be back, and of course Garrett Wilson, and hopefully Trey and Master do what they've been doing. But we should be pretty much as healthy as we've been for that game. But our secondary is going to be tested. It'll be a lot of fun. A&M got robbed. Well, A&M shouldn't have lost to Bama then. So with that being said, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up now, in fact. Been going for almost over a half hour. I was pretty much right. They got the picks out. They got the selections out at 12:30. So, yeah. I'll be live later tonight for Browns Giants. Hope you guys tune in for that. And I'll see you tonight. But yeah, Ohio State's got Clemson. We're running it back with the Tigers. And that's another thing too. We got a matchup of possibly the number 1 and number 2 picks in the draft coming up. How about that? That's another storyline right there. Number 1 pick, probably, versus the number 2 pick, probably. Unless the Jaguars, win a game or two of these final 3, which they probably won't. They're probably going to go winless over the last 15 games, which is sad considering they went 1-0. All right, stupid. A&M deserved 4. Well, you know what you were going to get? You're either going to get Notre Dame and Bama or a rematch. And A&M got smashed by Bama. There was no way the committee was going to have A&M and Bama facing off again. But, I mean, A&M has been playing better, but I don't know. It'll be Notre Dame, Bama, Clemson, Ohio State. So with that being said, guys, I will see you guys later tonight. Hope you guys tune in for Browns and Giants. And hopefully we get that dub, go to 10-4, and move on to the Jets next week. So speaking of the Jets. So with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Buckeyes. And I'm out.